What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build-It video. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm hoping this microphone is better than the last one. I've been waiting for the other one for a while now to show up, but I am going to get that fixed. So, like I said, hopefully this works. Now, this video is being made upon request for regional currency. I happen to have a regional currency task that I'm currently working on, so I figured now would be as good a time as any to go ahead and get this video done. For those of you who are not part of our Facebook page, if you type in SimCity Build It MissyAnne you can join us on there. You can ask questions, video links, links to all of the printable guides on the contest, production plan, all that good stuff. So for those of you guys who are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We're almost to 2,000 subscribers. We'll do something when we get to 2,000, not 100% sure what, but we will definitely do something. Okay, also I will be streaming Diablo 2 Resurrected or whatever when it comes out in September. Well, in a couple weeks actually. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started. First off, there was is a promotion for this Labor Day bundle. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick and see if that's worth even buying. To be honest with you, if you're hurting for Dozer, it's not a terrible deal depending on what level you are and how easy cash is to obtain. If you like the building, okay? It's not the best deal though. It's really not. I'm not going to be purchasing it. I don't care enough for the building to purchase it. And I don't need Dozer. And 688 cash is I think a little bit much. You know, obviously if you were buying each piece individually, yeah, it's a good deal. But how often do you really buy Dozer with cash? You really shouldn't be, right? You should just be getting it from passes, side passes, global, things like that. Now, if you're a high level player and you're really hurting for the pieces, but cash is easy for you to get, maybe you spend a lot of money on the game or whatever, then maybe okay. I think it is a 2-pointer in terms of epic. I haven't actually double checked to see if I own this building or not. It is labeled Hill of Romance, so you could probably just look through your menu and see if it's something that you already own, or just try to like look. I have so many buildings, it's kind of hard to keep track sometimes of what I do and don't have. But that comes from, you know, playing the game for 6 years or whatever. Okay, so let's get started on regional currency. How do you obtain it? Well, there's a couple ways that you can obtain regional currency. You can get it from the shipment here. Now this is why I'm in kind of a predicament, is because I have a task for Fin coins and the shipment's closed, right? So typically how this works is when you click on this HQ here, it begins a 24-hour timer. This 24-hour timer does not start until you actually click on it. When it's active, you'll see 3 balloons pop up. If you get 3 items and you get 3 rows per, basically you get 3 lines, right? Once you complete those 3 lines, you either have to wait 2 hours for the next truck to show up, or you can pay $10 to speed it up. If you don't have the items that are requested in the row and you click new shipment, you have to wait 2 hours or pay cash to bring it in. The cash prices jump pretty quickly. It's $10 for the first one, 20, then 40, then I believe 80, and then so forth. I don't pay after, certainly don't pay after 80. Usually, if I'm doing the contest of mayors competitively, what I'll do is I'll do the first 3 rows, pay the $10, do the second, 3 rows, pay the $10, get these done as quick as possible. I don't have 6 or 8 hours to just wait around for them to come in. If you are just trying to earn regional currency, you're not really playing competitively though, depending on your cash amounts, it would be wise just to wait the 2 hours. Now, that is how you get, a A little bit, you know, like maybe what 1,500 coins, I would say, is about average for 6 to 9 rows, roughly. Now, that's not really very much, especially when you're looking at these hotspots and upgrading them and all that. If you're not somebody who spends real money on the game, you're not going to want to buy the piggy banks. The piggy banks, when you click on the piggy bank, you get the rows, right? And you pay $2.99. You get the 2,000 coins, 4,000 coins, or 8,000 coins, depending on how many rows you completed. If you completed 9 rows, you spend $2.99. You get 8,000 coins. Once you purchase that, you can purchase the one for 4,000 or 2,000 or in whatever order you want to. You can purchase up to 3 piggy banks. Now, is that a good deal? I mean, no, not really, because we're talking real money here. We're not talking just Sims cash that you earn from the contest. But it's kind of like that with this game, especially if you're a high-level player with regionals unlocked. You're already in a bad spot in the game. So it's definitely, it's not necessarily, okay, how do I explain this? It's not a pay-to-win game or pay-to-play game to a certain type of player. If you were to restart and do the Missy's Building Guide, you could avoid having to pay to progress. It's not a game where it's like, oh, did you get to the end of the level? It's just a matter of what you want out of it and what you're willing to give, what you're willing to do. So when you're at this point in the game where you have regionals unlocked, it becomes more difficult. Now, these hotspots are not cheap. Okay, so the next way that you can get coins is selling these regional items to the sim bubbles that pop up. Now, this is a common thing throughout the game in general with Neo-Simoleons, with regional, with regular coins. It's a pretty common thing. If you buy an item, let's say burger farming, you buy burgers for X amount of dollars, you wait for the bubble to pop up, and then you sell them for a markup price. This is kind of the same concept, except for it's not, giving you regular coins, it's giving you regional coins. So here's what I do. Coins are too easy to get. Regional coins are too difficult to get. So me selling my regional items for regular coins is not worth it to me at all. I would rather sell them for regional currency or use them for, tasks and things that I need to get done. Now, every item in the game has a price fluctuation, right? Like a low and a high price. The typical or average price for the medium regional item, which would be this one here, this is usually priced at 47 to about 51-ish regional coins per one item. Okay, so this one isn't really the best. You get like 200 coins for every 4 fish soup, usually. These, however, they're higher and they take up less space. Okay, so even though they do take longer to make, it kind of turns out to be the same thing when you look at it in minutes for the most part, because you only get like, I want to say anywhere from about 87 to like 98-ish, right around there, per one regional item for the large. Usually these ones pop up for offers at about 7 coins per one item, or you get like, I don't know, 75 to 150 regional coins for like 15 or 20 of them or whatever. You just have to watch and see the offers that pop up. So what's the best way to go about it? The best way to go about it is to stack up as many regional items as you can and wait for these bubbles to appear in your city. Now, these can take a while to appear. Like, see how this one, it's only giving me 8 coins. I need to get this task done, right? So it's just, it keeps giving me the lower ones because they're in my inventory. If I was to sell these, it would give me the higher ones. But I really can't afford to sell them. I really do need any coin that I can get because I am low on my regional items for this particular map. On average, though, it'll probably take me, depending on, you know, how many regional items that I have and of which ones, it usually takes anywhere from, I want to say, 30 minutes to an hour to do a regional task without the shipments, doing the sales to the bubbles. They pop up at random. You know, sometimes they pop up immediately right after one another. If you just travel to another map and come back, they're usually there. It's one of those things, though, like let's say that you are on the global market and you see regional items. You don't usually see the medium and large ones, but if you see the small ones, buy them. Just buy them and then just sell them to the sim bubbles. Even if it's 50 here, 60 there, it does add up over time, especially if you're just, you know, doing it kind of in the background of everything else that you got going on. Eventually, you'll start to stack up these regional coins. Now, here's another good option, especially if you're only a couple hundred coins away from your goal, or if you're just, you know, simply trying to just add them periodically, and that is doing the house upgrades on the regional map. Now, you have to be very careful, though, because when you place down a regional home, you see how this one is asking for one fish plate or whatever. It's only giving me 54 regional coins, which means I'm actually losing out by doing this upgrade in terms of regional currency. So how do you avoid that? Well, there's one way, and that is if you place down a regular residential home on a regional map, it usually, not always, but usually does not ask you for regional items, or if it does, it asks you for the smaller ones. So that is another good way. Like, okay, this one here, see how it's asking for only one fish soup? Yeah, that sucks, but I'm actually going to get more regional coins by doing this upgrade than I would selling the one soup. Because the one soup is probably only going to give me at best 47 coins, so I'm actually up 8 coins, but I'm down all these regular items. So you have to ask yourself, you know, is it worth it to you? You know, what is it offering? Now, there are other, you know, things here. So like, for example, this one. It's asking me for a sandal, which kind of sucks. But right now, I really need these fish coins to do my task. So this one isn't too bad. You have to go through them and decide. Like this one, hell no. No way am I giving away a motor, a fish soup, and my backpack. I mean, backpacks are hard to get. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this one. Especially since it's on the construction zone. So it's already its first upgrade. And it's already asking me for that much. Now, the regional factory items, they don't sell for a whole lot, but like I said, if you have enough inventory space and you happen to be going back and forth to this map, just selling this stuff periodically throughout the day, you can stack up some pretty nice currency. But if you're going for a lot really quickly, the best bet is going to be your regional HQ shipments and your selling huge quantities of the biggest regional item. It's going to be the best bet. Now, there's this kind of technique, if you will, that people have been using. It's not the best option. You know, people do it with other stuff too. They buy stuff with their regional money or their Omega money or whatever, and then they bulldoze it for half price. This is not efficient, okay? Now, I can explain why, and we actually just had a debate about this in my group the other day with a complete basket case. But anyways, the point being is the way that this technique works is so for regional currency, for example, let's say you have 10,000 regional currency. People are buying the trees, right? And then for 250 regional coins, laying them all over their map, and then when they get a task, they just bulldoze them for half price. And that way they're able to get it done, you know, quickly. But the problem with this is you're losing out on coins. You know, like that's just stupid. these people clearly don't care about, their map and having regional currency or trees or whatever. If you want to get 100% of your value, you don't do that. Okay? Now, it really comes down to how much work you're willing to put in. So the technique with Omega is that you can only collect so many neo-simoleons on top of the Omega homes that you build. Now, I used to have, like, I don't know, 50 or 75 Omega homes, and it wasn't very much that you get per day. So it really depends on if you like Omega or not. If you don't really like Omega, don't build it. It's not worth it. If you like the look of it, then fine. If you're going for a high pop city, no. You're better off with that mix. But that's not really what this video is about. The point I'm getting at here is what people are doing is they're buying a bunch of Omega beach houses, or let's say the Omega bridges, or whatever they're buying. And then when they hit their cap on their bank, they bulldoze it for half price to exceed their bankroll. But what you can do instead of doing that is you can get to your bankroll, get to the maximum, get to a point where you have, all of these Omega items built up in your storage. And then you open cans periodically throughout the day, and then you sell to the sim bubbles that pop up, and they pop up really quick, especially if your inventory, your bank, or your Omega storage is full. They're going to pop up really quick. So usually you need it about 75 to 100% full. What I usually do is I try to fluctuate it between 30 and 35 items. What you're going to do is you're going to wait for the Omega bubble to pop up, and you're going to sell it for 100% value. Okay? Then you're going to open, your next can. You're just going to keep your Omega items up and just keep gradually selling them and keep exceeding it. I was able to buy a majority of my Omega services rather quickly. Now, if you're following the Missy's Building Guide, you'll be able to buy your 2 of each, at least, a minimum of 2 of each if you're on the Missy's Building Guide for 6 to 8 months. You'll be able to buy about 2 of each for your capital map, which is an excellent thing because that saves you about 1 million regular coins. Don't be one of the people that bulldozes your work. Now, what people are doing is they're hitting the maximum amount of money, and then they're lining their beach with these Omega beach items. Then they have to wait, hit their maximum amount on their bankroll again, right? And then when they're wanting to buy a service, they just go across their whole beach or however many they purchased, and they bulldoze them so that they can buy it super fast. But it still takes time. You gotta spend the money first, then you gotta earn it back, then you gotta bulldoze it. You're better off just getting your 100% value from your items. Okay? So same concept here with the regional currency. Same concept with the building technique that people use. They build 1 or 2 upgrades and they bulldoze. That's a bad technique. Don't do that. I've got videos talking about that as well. The best way, like I said, is to be consistent with your production. Okay? Be on top of it. Make sure that you're buying and selling the right items and then producing the right items. A lot of people, they don't have enough. They have a routine, but they don't have enough organization within their routine. They are constantly all over the place. They're selling random items. They don't have any routine for their shops. They aren't really buying, regional items when they see them, if they see them, and then selling them. They just kind of do shipments if they can, and then they don't do them if they can't, and then they wonder why they never, stack things up. It's a consistent thing. You have to be on top of it all the time. With this game, you have to constantly be multitasking. Okay, you got to be doing this over here and this over there, and a lot of people get into bad habits, and those habits are hard to break, and that usually comes with players that have been playing for a long time. It really is a whole different game if you just put your priorities in certain spots. You know, if you change the way you're doing things, change the items you're making, change everything that you're doing to be 100% efficient, and you will see a massive difference in your game. You know, you'll start getting tens of thousands of regional coins a week doing this. But you got to be on top of it. You got to be consistent. You got to be making the items. If you have overflow tokens, you know, you can throw, you know, fill your regional shop up with the largest regional item and throw a gold token on it, walk away. It's not gonna finish 11 of the max regional item on one gold token. So do that, and then, you know, fill it up again and just be consistent with it. So good luck to you guys. That's the best I got in terms of regional currency. It is difficult to obtain, but the good thing is once you own the services that you need, it's basically hotspots and trees is what you spend your regional currency on. That being said, if you're somebody who does a lot of designing, that's going to be very helpful, you know, being able to buy those trees. If you've gotten to a point where you want to do hotspots, I highly recommend, because we have a huge sale coming in November for Black Friday, I recommend that you stack up as many regional coins as you possibly can, and that way when the sale comes, these hotspots are going to be 50% off for upgrades. Okay, so that'll be a huge benefit. These hotspots are not cheap to upgrade, so a 50% discount with, you know, months, a couple weeks or whatever to prepare and stack up as many coins as possible, it'll make a huge difference. You can get those up to an 80% pop boost and a 5 epic pointer each. Okay, so definitely worth investing in if you have extra coins and you're not using them for any trees or services. So good luck to you guys, and if you have a video request, you're more than welcome to put it in the comments section. We do have some space available in our club, but we are taking active strategic members only. You can hit me up on Facebook and talk to me and tell me your city stats, and we'll see if you're right for the group. And good luck to you guys.